Okay, so welcome everyone to session number 108 of the Circle of Wine Writers Let's Talk About series, which we've been running for several years, started during COVID. The title of today's presentation is Let's Talk About Sustainability in Jerez and Beyond with Victoria González-Gordon. I'd like to extend a particular welcome to those who are joining us for the first time and are not members of the Circle. The Circle of Wine Writers was founded in 1960 in the UK by Cyril Ray. And today we have over 270 members, including wine writers, broadcasters, educators, and other professional wine communicators based all across the world, with just under half in the UK. You can find more information about us on our website, thecircleofwinewriters.org, including details about joining our membership. Please don't hesitate to contact Andrea, who's our administrator, or talk to one of our members if you're interested in more details about us. And now I'd like to hand it over to Vivian Franks, our honorary secretary, who will introduce our speaker.
Thank you very much, Meg. And hello, Victoria. It's lovely to meet you. It's quite daunting, the fifth generation family member to have joined González Bias. 20 years you've been working for the company, and you were the international marketing manager, I understand, for over 15 years, and now you have an amazing job as the Chief Sustainability Officer, which I'm sure you're going to tell us more about. And you've been doing that for about a couple of years now. And so I think that's probably enough of an introduction, and you're going to tell us all about what you do and how you do it, and we're really looking forward to it. So thank you, and over to you.
Well, thank you, Vivian and Megan. It's a pleasure to be here. As Vivian was introducing me, I just wanted to say, well, I'm not an agronomist and I'm not a winemaker, unfortunately. So all technical questions, I'll do my best. But if you ask about sulfites or anything very specific, might be difficult for me. My role in the company is really to lead the change in terms of sustainability, coordinated across all our different wineries, which I'll tell you about in a minute. So it's really an amazing job ahead of me. Many things have been done before I took this role, but many things are still to happen. So yeah, very, very nice moments, no, for all this. Today, my idea was to give you an update of what González Bias is today, and about what we are doing in terms of sustainability in our main focuses. And I have prepared a presentation, which let's see if I can do it right. So that's here, and now I need to go. Okay. Here. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Hold on, let me do this.
Editing view.
There. Yes?
Yes, thank you.
I made it. Good. Thank you. Well, just a brief introduction about the company. As Vivian was saying, we're a family-owned company. We are going to turn 190 years next year. The company was founded by Manuel Maria González, and we are now in 5th and 6th generation. I'm part of the 5th generation, but obviously we are quite a big family, so 6th generation is very active now. So company was founded in Jerez de la Frontera. This is where I'm based and where I'm talking to you from. First period of the company, it was only dedicated to producing sherry, producing and selling sherry and brandy, Pepes, Verano, Lepanto. But in the 80s, we began an expansion as a company, always remaining on the wine and spirits sector. And today we are a more complex group with 14 wineries and 3 distilleries. Okay, and this is basically Spain, but also Chile and Mexico. And you can see here, this is the map of our wineries now. So as you can see, my thing, we started here in Jerez. This is 1835. Then we moved to Rioja, Veronia. This is the first winery we bought. in 1982, followed by Now. This is in Penedès, Cava. Then we bought a small winery. Well, we bought a land and we planted a small winery of red wines very close to Jerez, so same region. It's in Arcos de la Frontera, which is called Finca Moncloa. And we also planted some vines very close to Madrid in Finca Constante. Then from here, we bought Viñas del Vero. This is in Somontano. Viñas del Vero and Blecua. These are part of the same company. This is a very strong wine brand here in Spain. From this, where did we go? We built Rueda. So from this moment, we started building some wineries as well. And here sustainability started being really in mind. This is year 2015. So we were already thinking about clean energies, about being very respectful with the land, etc. From here, we moved to Rías Baixas, a small paso here in this region. And same year, we moved to Chile, where we bought, this is part of the same company, Viñedos Veramonte and Apalta with Neyen Winery. And finally, we got an alliance with Grupo Emperador, and we have part of this is Casa Pedro Domecq in Baja California, in Guadalupe Valley, a small winery here. And the last one to be added to our portfolio is Dominio Fournier. This is a small winery here in Ribera del Duero. So this is our situation right now as a company. So with this map, in view, with this complexity, what does this mean from a sustainability point of view? So for me, it's managing diversity, because we have this first photo here is Jerez. These are buildings from the 19th century. So this against the one on the bottom, which is Veronia Winery. This is a new winery, completely integrated in the landscape with clean energy. So just imagine adapting energy here is very different. Or here we have Paso de Luzco in Rías Baixas, up in the north, and Finca Moncloa, right here in the south, close to Jerez. So Atlantic climate, Mediterranean climate, lots of rain throughout the year, around 1,500 liters, less than 500 liters. So again, a lot of diversity. Or here, this is Fournier, Dominio Fournier, in Ribera del Duero, 40 hectares. This is Viñas del Vero in Somontano, around 500 hectares. So do a plan for all of this. This is managing diversity, because there are very, very different challenges across all our wineries. And also, well, we are all aware of this, managing our uncertainty. I don't know if I pronounced this word correctly, but what we see is that it's very, very difficult to make any prediction, to know what's going to happen in terms of climate. A lot of different and extreme weather events happening throughout the last years. For example, it has been a very good year for Jerez. These are press cuts. I'm sorry they are in Spanish, but this is what I can find. So last year was this year was a very good year in Jerez with production 25% over than or more than last year. This is all press will talk about this. Why? Because we were coming from 4 years of very hard drought. So production had gone down. Average in Jerez is normally or historically 600 liters of rain per year. We were having below 400 liters. So in the past year, it was more or less good. We reached approximately 500 liters. The autumn and winter were dry, but spring was very nice. We didn't have a very strong Levante summer. This is very crucial here in Jerez, because this wind is really, really warm. So it helps maturation of the grape, and temperatures go very, very high. And we have had a lot of dew during the summer as well. So year has been good. And you can see here now what Chris was saying. But for example, other regions were not so good. Ribera del Duero has been very, very dramatic this year. For us, we had late frost in April, crop went down nearly 30%. We had hail in May, hail in August. There we lost nearly all of what we had. In this case, rain was much higher than other years, so a difficult year in Ribera del Duero. Well, and it's been a difficult period of years in Penedès, dramatic situation for many wine or vineyard owners, 4 years of drought, no water in subsoils. So all press years, very dramatic in terms of Penedès might lose a third of its vineyards. Vineyards in Catalonia drying off. So depending on where you go, you see different situations. No? So Jerez has been good, other regions not so good. Well, we haven't finished harvesting all of them. Rioja still going, but we're nearly there. So these are, let's say, extreme cases, no? But this is something that we see is happening. So this was an introduction of what we manage, or the situation we have, and this is now our sustainability plan and commitment. We as a company have had a sustainability plan organized as such for the last 10 years or so. Last year, we reviewed what we have been doing in the past, and we have made a more ambitious plan with more ambitious goals. We have divided the plan in 7 different pillars, 4 of them regarding planet, 3 of them regarding people. So these were the factors that were more relevant for us as a company, and this is what we are working on. How do we work? Well, we have a team which is called the Green Team. It's an internal group formed by leaders of different departments, vineyards, operations, supply chain, wineries, marketing, finance. So we all together decide on the way we should be moving forward. So, well, I'm not going to stop in these parts because we are going to review them now during the presentation. The numbers I give will be most of them related to fiscal year 22-23. Well, we consolidate all our data with agronomal, whatever you say, year. Okay, and we are now finishing collecting all data from last year. So I still don't have them. I cannot share them. So that's why I'll talk about year 22-23. Okay. So in terms of moving towards decarbonization, of course, we work to reduce our emissions and also to minimize our impact. Okay. In terms of carbon footprint, we have calculated our carbon footprint since 2013. But as I was telling you before, the history of our company and how new wineries have been added to the group, etc. Well, what we had in 2013, our reality now is completely different. So it's very difficult to compare these 2 years. No, although we have been working on this for many years. The last calculation we have is 2022, and it's an organization or carbon footprint, meaning all companies, all wineries are included. Then the data is consolidated, but we have the data of each of them, and each of them has its own decarbonization plan. We follow the GHG protocol, and it's audited and certified by LQRA. Okay, so in total, conclusions, we are establishing our baseline year in 2019. This is a bit challenging because we have been doing many actions before this year, but it's the only year where we have the same situation as today. So we are looking to see how we can work with these numbers. We have done a lot of actions to reduce scope 1, big investments moving to clean energies. In terms of scope 2, well, we buy green electricity across our wineries in all of them, but Mexico, well, we've been doing this movement for the past years. But you can see here that our main challenge, of course, is in scope 3 and in what we buy, meaning packaging, meaning grapes, or wine, anything, barrels, anything we buy, this is what works the most. So this is 75% of our total scope. So this is really a challenge, no? I mean, many companies have the same challenge as we have, but this is something that we cannot do by ourselves. So this is industry moving forward and making hard decisions probably. So we are working not to do our best here. So in terms of what we have now, clean energy. So we have 6 different energies across our wineries. Here you can see photovoltaic panels. This is on the cellars of the Brandy winery here in Jerez. You can see the big wind, whatever, veleta sign. So this is on the roof. You cannot see them, but they are there. Well, photovoltaic panels across our wineries, solar thermal panels also in some of them, biomass boilers in 3 of our wineries. We produce green hydrogen in Viñas del Vero, and in the new winery in Veronia, we have geothermia and aerothermia. Also, we work to reduce our energy use and to be more efficient while changing luminaries to LEDs, isolating roofs, etc. And then in terms of eco-design, this is a very relevant point because the bottle weight is a big issue in terms of carbon emissions for any winery. In our case, you saw before, we are a complex company, so in total we have around 200 references of bottles, taking in mind different shapes, different sizes, different weights, different closures. So moving is not so easy. Anyway, our average weight in total is 500 grams, taking in mind all we sell, including wines and spirits. But if you look at our Spanish wine, still wines, then over 80% come in lightweight bottles, which means less than 420 grams. So Veronia, most of it goes in lightweight. Paso de Luz goes with Gavarina as well, Veronia Rueda as well. So many of our wines go in lightweight bottle. Cava is a challenge. We are moving to 835 gram bottles in many of our SKUs. But of course, the wine, Cava is aged, so this is a process. We still need to move forward in other of our wines and also in our spirits. But well, this is one of our measures and the direction we are moving. And the last measure we have here is carbon capture. We are working in a program which is called Fuelforia in Viñas del Vero. So we are capturing carbon from fermentation, and then together with the green hydrogen we produce, we are transforming it into clean methane. So this is a 4-year program, and we are in year 1, but we are already capturing CO2 from fermentation. So in terms of course, protecting the land and the biodiversity, this is the second pillar. No, we are aware of that vineyards are alive, and that our product comes from the land, and we need to care for it and to look after it, and that they are ecosystems for many different species. So we need to protect them. Here we work in 3 different ways. No, first of all is our vineyards and how we manage them. In total, we own around 2,000 hectares of vineyards. We manage them all sustainably, meaning limiting the use of herbicides, using green covers where possible, etc. But 65% of them have a sustainability certification that can be producción integrada or organic or biodynamic, so depending on the region. Then we have our own program for increasing biodiversity in our vineyards, which we call Vidas. Here we work in planting trees throughout our wineries. So we have planted over 5,000 trees. Also, in our states, there are some parts or some land with forests. Well, we protect this and we look after them, we clean them, etc. Then we have put birdhouses in different wineries, hotels for insects, beehives. Well, we are working in this direction with the aim that the winery can regulate or auto-regulate in the future. For example, here in Jerez, we have made in the past year a census of different bird species, and we have watched 101. So because we are in a very specific region where lots of birds go on their way to Africa looking for warmer climates. So a lot of different birds are move and use our vineyards. We do this together with the CSIC. This is the Spanish National Research Council. So they also do bird ringing, and this is our way also to help investigation, let's say. Okay. And then the third image we have here, Ángel de Viñas. This is a program we established a couple of years ago to support all vineyards across Spain. These are not González Díaz vineyards, but these are small vineyards which are, let's say, in risk of disappearing if nobody helps, no? And we consider that, well, this is part of the richness of the country, of the viticultural richness of the country. So, for example, here in the photo is this couple are called Marta and Javi. They have inherited a small vineyard of less than 2 hectares in Arribes del Duero, Pereña de Rivera, is called the little town. It's 85 or 90-year-old, the vineyard. They have inherited it from her grandfather, and it's 2 local varieties, which is called Juan Garcia and Tinta Jeromo. Well, they are working hard for the vineyard and to make the wine and for it to keep going, but well, it's really difficult because they have their other jobs in real life and all that. So, well, we have helped them in terms of how to look after the vineyard, in terms of winemaking, although they didn't need a lot of support over there, but also in terms of market reach, price positioning, labeling, etc. So, well, the idea is to find these small vineyards. Well, we have 6 now, but to help them make sustainable long-term projects so that they don't need to remove them. So this is also something we are doing in terms of land and biodiversity. Then in terms of water, well, we are very aware that water is a limited resource, but it's also key for survival. And we must optimize the way we use water. Well, the thing is that water use, of course, varies, depending on the climate, on the rain, and throughout the years. There are some of our regions where we cannot irrigate. For example, in Jerez it's not allowed to irrigate, and there's a system that is used that is called aserpiado, which means you prepare the soil, you prepare the land, making like swimming pools. So you do like holes between the lines of vines. So when it rains, the water retains there, it doesn't run down, and it starts going down inside the soil, and it can feed the plants during the year. But of course, we need rain for this to happen. No? So this is one of the systems we use in Jerez. Well, in depending on where we are, but we use deficit irrigation in our vineyards. So giving them only the water they need. In some cases, it's drip irrigation. In some cases, it's buried irrigation. We use drones to identify where we need to water, etc. And well, we are from the last year, we have reduced our water use in 4.6%, but it's really going to depend on the year now and on rain. Then we collect rainwater in the roofs of some of our wineries, and we reuse it. Also, some wineries will have a water reservoir, and we use it either to water the vineyards, to water the gardens we have around, for winery uses, etc. Then efficient management in wineries, that we've done a lot about a lot here, and this has been reduced. But in general, most of our water use will go in watering. So of course, it's important to have an efficient use in wineries, but being true to reality, where we have the big impact is in irrigation. And then of course, a lot of internal training. This is very important, especially during harvest times. Imagine red wine winery, of course, to wash and to clean, that uses a lot of water. So training everyone, training all the team to make an efficient use is also important. Okay, now we move to the last point in our planet part of the plan, which is circularity. The aim is to reduce the waste we generate and also to give a second use to it. So well, we recycle the waste, and we look to we work to make it less and less every year. In terms of eco-design, it's not only, of course, bottles, but we need to look at everything. We have an eco-design guide for the design team to have in mind that the bottle will need to be recycled afterwards, that some materials are better than others. So eco-design from origin is very important. And then finally, in terms of innovation, we are participating in 2 different programs. One of them is the one you see here, which is called Rebovino. Here you see reuse. Well, Rebovino is a project that is led by the FED, by the Federación Española del Vino, and it's investigating the reuse of bottles in the on-trade wine sector. Okay, here we are. Well, this is a bottle that was especially designed by Veralia. You see it there. So it's a bit thicker than a normal bottle, so that it can do the cycle of being washed and refilled. We are using it for Tío Pepe, for our Pinot here in Jerez, in our own facilities, because we have our restaurant, our hotel, our catering company, and well, we are studying different aspects, no? How the bottle looks, the resistance of the bottle, the consumer reaction, of course, the emissions. This is a bit of a challenge because we have no cleaning facilities close by, so we need to, it needs to do quite a long distance for it to be washed. And well, that's the idea, no? To have a complete view on how this works and the viability of reusing bottles in the on-trade. We work in a second project in terms of circularity, which is called FED Café. This is in Viñas del Vero. And this is a 3-part project. So we are testing a fertilizer, which is done with coffee grounds, coffee rests that are coming from vending machines in universities, in hospitals, etc., in the area. So the coffee company collects all these coffee grains, and they are added to a ecological fertilizer, and we are testing how it works. No? So this we started it this past year, so we need to see these plots against other ones to see how this has been working. Okay, so I've gone through what the 4 main pillars of what we do in terms of environmental sustainability, and now I have 3 more parts regarding people, which are internal team, communities, and consumers. So I don't know if there are any questions I should go through now or just in the end, whatever you prefer.
No, there's no questions so far. Doing
Okay.
great, thank you.
Good. Okay, so well, in terms of our team, well, we work to ensure the best working conditions for them, with the idea that they can grow and develop, not only professionally, but also personally. The photo you see here is the team in Jerez. This is in one of our vineyards in Canaliera, an activity we do every year, which is called the Green Day. So we go, all the employees together with our families and spend the day doing something to help our sustainability plan. So in this case, we planted trees and bushes around the winery, and we put some bird houses, etc. This day we do together in all the wineries so that everyone can join one green day. So we've done the last one was, I think, April, May last year. So I don't know where I am, somewhere around there. Sorry. So in terms of supporting our team, well, we offer education. We have an internal program. It's here, did you know it? It's a digital platform. It's over 1,000 courses available, and this helps internal promotion. And there's a really big variety of things. So you can learn more about marketing, about cybersecurity, about finance, about sustainability. Some of them, you need to do them. Some of them are optional. And if you're interested, you can sort of work your way with your interests across the company. Then in terms of wellness, because our aim is to give our team support, not only professionally, but also personally. Well, we offer different policies so that everyone is able to disconnect and have a balanced work-life equilibrium. Well, we promote remote working positions where it's possible, obviously. This is in my screen is I Feel. This is a psychological support platform. So this is online. You can do exercises, mindfulness, therapy sessions. So everyone can use it. It's completely anonymous. So yeah, there's no data about yourself. But if you need psychological support, then you can have it there. And it was very, very appreciated, especially during COVID, where everyone needed to be home and there were difficult times, no, for the team. So in terms of numbers, for the last year, we have had nearly 200 people connected some way or another, which is good, no? But this is something that we offer and that people are positive about. And then in terms of involvement, this is another photo of Green Day. These are planting in Toledo. This is part of the team planting in Toledo. But of course, we have also internal awareness campaigns for sustainability, like to help people recycle, to be conscious about use of water, use of lights, etc. We have our competition, which is called Premios Ideas, where we promote innovation, but also sustainability ideas. And then the Green Day, you are seeing in the screen. Here. In terms of communities, well, we are committed not to the progress of our community, economically and socially. Of course, we all know that a winery is really linked to where it is, not to its region. You cannot take the winery and the vineyard of Jerez and put it in Burgos. It's not possible. It's in Jerez and it needs to be in Jerez, and we are here to stay. So a winery also has this long-term vision, and you receive so much from the community. You also need to give back. So here, well, supporting the local community, well, prioritizing local talents, give up to the different communities where we established strong relationship with all our farmers, with all our producers. Well, a winery in general favors rural employment and that people stay in the area, so prevents depopulation. Well, we support these favored collectives. This is a journey we did this with this collective, which is called the FANA here in Jerez. So it's an organization that works with disabled people, and well, they have different talleres, I don't know really for that. So they do different, they produce different things. So they produce these bird houses for us, and they came and we put them together in different places of the winery. So this is just an example. We work with local universities because it's a win-win. No, they help also with many innovation and research projects, but they also can come here for work experience, etc. In terms of suppliers, of course, we prioritize proximity suppliers, and every year we do a survey just to see how they are in terms of sustainability. We offer them support, and we prioritize those that are sustainable. So with our survey, 84% of them are qualified as sustainable. So this is a rate we have for when we have a decision in terms of buying something. Well, if the supplier is sustainable, it has better positioning for us. And then, of course, wine tourism. No, this is also very, very important. We offer different experiences, tastings, etc. We organize a festival, music festival in summer. This means a lot of employment in the area, a lot of tourism coming to the region, hotels fully booked, etc. So this is also bringing wealth to our employment to our community. And then, just to finish, well, commitment to our consumers. Well, here we have three different lines. Of course, first is transparency. We foster transparency. You can find clear and true information in our labels, in our website, etc. In terms of responsible drinking, well, we are adhered to Wine in Moderation program, but also throughout our events, we promote that drinking is done in a sustainable and a responsible way. So there's always water, there's always food, there's always non-alcoholic or non-alcohol offerings, so that this part is completed. No? And in terms of products, of course, well, listening to what consumers are wanting, no, and developing these kind of products like lower alcohol, more organic. And this is it. This is just a brief, no? So certifications and collaborations, what we have and who we work with. Well, we are adhered to the Global Compact since 2020. We have 5 wineries certified with sustainable wineries for climate protection. This is a sustainability seal that is needed by the Federación Española del Vino. We have Jerez here, Verónica Rioja, Verónica Rueda, Vilarnau, Cava, and Viñas del Vero. Our new winery in Verónica achieved the LEED Gold certificate, the version 4. So this is done given by the U.S. Green Building Council, and it recognizes buildings that are sustainable, integrated in the landscape, etc. We are part of the Porto Protocol and also of Sustainable Wine Roundtable. And well, last but not least, we are working hard and getting prepared for CSRD. This is different in the UK, but anyone that is in Europe will for sure know what's coming over, and that a lot of preparation will be needed. So this is something that we are working on quite hard, because although we already measure and work towards many sustainability goals, there will be many more involved with this new reporting regulation. So that's it. Let me stop sharing. So you can see, well, we are working in different areas. There are many challenges, although there's a lot of work being done. Still, more things need to be done. Big challenges coming ahead of us. A lot of uncertainty regarding what's going to happen, and etc. Also, law and legislation are hitting hard, but in the end, I mean, we live from what the soil gives us, so we are very linked to the land, and we are a family-owned company, and our aim is that the next generations can also enjoy the company. So we don't only care for it because we need to do it in terms of legislation or what people are requiring from us, but because we believe in it now, and we want to give a healthy company to the ones coming after us.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that presentation. I love that you presented the multiple pillars of your sustainability program. I think it gives us a really good sense of the incredible breadth of what you're doing in reaching so many different audiences with this effort. Vivian, you had a question for Victoria. Would you like to ask your question?
Yes, thank you. Basically, you're doing so much in this area. Do your competitors have similar innovative procedures? Do they do similar things to you?
Well, in Spain, there are wineries that are active in terms of sustainability. Some others, not so much, to be honest. But yes, I mean, winery in the end, you live from the soil and from the land, no? So anyone that is in the countryside can see it and is very active. I see this difference in my job now. Like when you go to the wineries and you talk to the team there, everyone is very clear. In the office, financial department, marketing department, well, they are more far away, so for them it's more difficult. In terms of competitors, nowadays, for example, if you want to be in retail, you need to be sustainable, because big retailers are asking for a lot of data, and if you don't measure, then it's going to be difficult.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's fascinating. You touching on something that I had a question about as well, which is obviously there's a cost involved in doing all of these initiatives, but there's also some savings, some financial savings, and I was interested to see you're tracking your reduction in carbon use, et cetera. But what about recaptured money? Like, do you find that this is actually saving you money in some ways?
To be honest, in terms of, for example, clean energies, it will mean savings in the future. Now it's investment. The thing is that 10 years ago, maybe for an investment, you had a longer period for it to have come back. Now this period is becoming shorter. But still is, I don't like saying cost, but saying investment. For example, what you do in what we do in vineyards in terms of helping natural balance. Well, this will bring savings for sure in the future, I'm sure. But right now, yeah, we need a bit of time.
So how old are these initiatives? So did you really start thinking about these in a more accelerated way in the last 5 years or 10 years? When did you get started?
Well, moving back to the origin of our company, I always say Manuel Maria, he was the founder. Well, he did buy his first vineyards quite soon, so he cared about them, and we see, because we have a historical archive here with a lot of documentation, not so much in terms of what they did in the vineyard, to be honest, but in the, I don't know, 60 years ago, there were already things happening in the vineyard in terms of the best work done in the vineyard in terms of not sustainability, because that word didn't exist, but caring for the land, etc. He was very innovative in terms of the social parts of sustainability. For example, he had schools here in the winery. Well, his kids went to this school together with all the other children from the other people working. he had, how do you say, the internal doctor for workers. Nearly 200 years ago, this wasn't something that happened so frequently. He had, how do you say, pensiones, like if someone died, well, he gave money to the other part or contracted them. So he did a lot for his team and for the community. That part he was very advanced. As if you remember the map with all the different wineries, something that we do is that each winery works independently. So each of them has its own brand. I'm sure many consumers wouldn't know that Veronia is part of González Díaz, or that, I don't know, Villarnau is part of González Díaz. Each of them has its own theme, each of them has its own winemaker. So each of them respects really the land, the terroir, and the identity of the winery and of the land. Well, this is more complex, of course, to manage, but in the end, in each of them, there's a winemaker that has this, how do you say, inquietudes, this care, no, for the different aspects. So, for example, Villarnau in Benedict, they have done a lot of initiatives in terms of water use. Why? Because for them it's one of the big challenges. This is an example, no? So there were a lot of initiatives before I came to the role, obviously, because this is quite new, but from the past years. And a solid sustainability plan, we have had it for the last 10 years.
10 years, yeah. I was especially interested to see you include consumers in your sustainability plan. Certainly without consumers to buy our products, there's no company left, right? But so you need them to stick around. But I wondered if you could expand a little bit about how the consumers, what that conversation is around consumers and sustainability. Do you try to help educate them? I know you talked about more like moderate drinking and the ability to offer a variety of different kinds of products, which is more about market fit in a sense. But how do you think about them in terms of how they support your sustainability efforts, and then maybe vice versa? How do you support them in their sustainability mindset?
Well, for now, in terms of consumers, I think from what I get, no, in terms of market research and everything, perhaps you have more insights, no? I think consumers are asking more and more for sustainability, for sustainable products, although I don't think they are prepared to pay more. So they just expect the company to be sustainable now and to do their work properly. So in terms of this, for us, we are kind of, let's say, open and communicate what we do, because I think it's, I mean, if we do it, then it's good that we communicate. It's a challenge because, as I say, different wineries, then imagine 13 or 14 different messages and things we need to communicate, because each winery is different, and then we don't communicate contrarily as in terms of consumers, because they don't, that's like the brand behind, no? They are important because they are going to push what we do, they are going to push what retailers do, and also retailers are going to direct what they drink and what they choose. Here, one of the main parts we do is promote sustainable, responsible drinking, which is, I mean, I would say the more the better, no? But in the end, this is not the idea. The idea is consume, enjoy, and in a respectful way, because you need to balance this health issue as well. So, yeah, this is one of the big parts, and of course, listening to what they want and taking in mind their needs or their what they are asking for in terms of our future developments in products. Yeah,
thank you. So what are some of what you consider to be the biggest obstacles for you? What are the things that are most in your way, maybe like right now or in the next few years? What are you worrying about?
Well, one of the big things is what you mentioned before, of course, investments or costs. This is one of the big of the big issues. The other one is, on one hand, an advantage, and on the other hand, is difficult, no? Because you have your wineries, your vineyards where they are, and in the long or in the medium term, you can change some things. I mean, you can change the orientation of the vines, you can move to maybe higher altitudes, but this is not easy because all vineyards are also, you know, important and part of what you are. So this balance is difficult.